shoe, 20 meter in the pocket, and I'm in the mood. Bopping down the bog road, bopping down the bog road. Only got 2 wheels, but they sure do get me around. When I was a kid, they didn't like me in school, but when all the other kids were trying to be cool, I was bopping down the bog road, bopping down the bog road. Only got 2 wheels, but they sure do get me around.
Right.
Participating in it. And I've just finished college and just trying to get back to the basics of,
touching the water.
Enjoying it instead of deadlines and projects. And I was just writing down just words, as they come into me there, and there's so much, not to rush it because it's so beautiful, really.
Is art in the open a good excuse to get out in the open? It's like
it is,
it's
and it's the
like
camaraderie, because sometimes it's very, very difficult to be brave enough to get out in the elements. I even though I love the outdoors, it's lovely to be in the atmosphere of people that are like-minded. It really isn't. It doesn't really matter what you produce. It's just the experience of it, really.
And you think the camaraderie is important?
I think so.
And do you find that these people are all on the same hymn sheet kind of thing?
Well, we are all on different hymn sheets, I suppose.
But it's a nice sound.
It is. It's lovely because you can choose either to engage or not engage, and yet you're surrounded with them.
Right.
I don't know. So it's all to enjoy, and the weather is wonderful.
And people are trying to engage with nature is what
they are. It doesn't get much better than this, does it?
And I just love this. I mean, it couldn't be better than this today.
And you've got your little umbrella there just in case.
Well,
does it keep the sun out?
No, that's for the sun. But well, it's for both. But I didn't expect the sun to be bouncing off the canvas, and that's not good, as you know. You can't judge the colour. The paint is still wet and shiny, so it's reflecting back into you. But yeah, I'm lucky. The problem is now I've got sandwiches over there near the church, and I have a friend, and I have her sandwiches. So I'm going to have to go very shortly. She'll be phoning me.
Yeah, this is a demonstration for the group that's around me. So I'm just spending a few minutes finishing it off, and then I'm going to go around and talk to them all and see what it's their turn now.
Give them how much detail to put in and how much to leave out, or is it an easy sort of thing?
I think the handiest thing to do is just have a big brush or work up a palette knife, and then you have no choice but to leave out the fussy things.
Overpaint it.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
And the light isn't coming and going, because when I first got here this morning it was about 8:30, and the whole reason I painted this was because this was all in sun.
I love it. I love the stones here. We've been painting for a couple weeks prior to this throughout Ireland, and all the old stone is just amazing.
You got loads of old stone, right?
And I love it. I love it. So.
But you do a painting a day.
Right.
So I wouldn't be able to go far on that. I normally take days to get a paper established and then finish in the studio. So this business of doing something in a day
is that a challenge?
Is a real challenge.
Pretty fast work. Did you do any sketches beforehand? Just get sort of straight in.
I've tried some different things.
Right.
To try to figure out, if I wanted sky, or if I just wanted the bridge, or what I wanted there. And I tried to get it in where when the light was hitting this back piece and the bridge was darker, which is not always the case. The light goes in and out and it changes.
Right.
So I'm trying to stick to my sketch rather than be romanced by the new stuff that's going on, which is really hard. And if I decided that I liked what's happening out there better than I did, with what my original plan was, then I would just have to scrape it off and start over. If I started chasing it all around, just to have a big mess. And occasionally, of course, it goes back to this, and then I'll grab some piece of information. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Grab that piece. And it's strange. I kind of make myself wait on the lightest light pieces until the very end, and I'm not sure that's a smart thing, but what drew me when I came up here was there's this streak of light going down through there, and so even though it's not there right now, I've made note of it on here, and so it's just a matter of trying to remember exactly how light it was, and sometimes even make notes, you know, the color, temperature, all that kind of stuff. But it was what we in America think of as Ireland green. So that's what I have in my head. And it was just that top row of the grass there where it was coming in really bright. Across there.
It's the make or break thing, isn't it, really, when you do that?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that makes a difference, doesn't it? That's a massive difference now.
And then, you know, you just have to decide if it matters any that some of this came down.
Since you were here last, I decided to carry the trees right up and not try to get the skinny little bit of sky in, and
you were right.
just put a little bit of sky on the right.
I'm just out of the car and I'm doing some sketches.
There's this work boat right here, but I love all this atmospheric stuff back there, and I'm going to try to balance that. I'm going to need something right in here to balance this.
Yeah.
I might add a little boat in there or something. I don't know yet. I'm just going to take it as it gives it to me today. I'm not sure what it's going to give me. But, you know, it really is about the process.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't paint if I didn't enjoy the process, because you really don't know till the end what you got. If you know what you're going to have at the end of the painting, why do it?
Last year I've been, but actually I did expect it to be all coastal. I was quite surprised to go inland. Personally, I prefer boats.
It doesn't really matter too much. I think the water and the oil doesn't mix, so what he's painted the scenery. So, and the deal was I'd split the prize money with him. That's going to happen. I am enjoying this because I feel like you deal with architecture and you know, like
life
actually
is simplified.
It's more paints, putting down paint, and not having to worry too much about drawing. You know, I mean, you could get into that. In this case, it's much more soft impressions.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. It's a very soft impression you've got there.
Yeah.
You're a soft impressionist.
At the moment.
What's the difference between taking a photograph of this water now and standing there and painting the water? What's the difference?
Well, even a high-end camera won't capture the subtle changes in colour anyway. But if you're looking at something, your eye can't see the freeze frame thing that a camera can. You know, a camera will just snap the water like as if it's frozen. The fact that your eye can't see that means if you paint it the way your eye sees it, it's going to look more real to the observer. If you paint it the way the camera sees it, it's going to look more like a photograph. I mean, I can't see the shapes because they're moving so quickly in parts of that water, but I can see bits. I can see where it jumps, where the white water is. Those shapes actually start to repeat themselves. Even though the water is moving, you can look in the same sort of thing is there permanently almost. That line and this one. They're actually there permanently, even though the water is moving. On the other hand, if you look at what's going on under the bridge and say out here, it's so random. The camera would actually still capture that freeze frame. You can paint every little bit, but it wouldn't look like it does to the eye. So I'm going to be blurring parts of this with a soft brush. It's all part of the experience being out there.
an escape from the thoughts that were pulling me down. So I went singing for my drinking, to be closer to the sky than the ground. The sun is beating heavy and it's mighty thirsty work outside. I keep forgetting all the lyrics, but the others sing the ones I can't find. I'm burning off some brain cells, trying to make some room in my mind. I'm thinking to myself, you know I haven't done this in a long, long time. Nothing's gonna spoil my fun in the here and now. No, not even Mr. Dark Cloud rolling in hard from the south. And there's a boom, boom, boom that says, here comes a summer shower. And then the sky burst open and the rain came tumbling down. And there were 3 fallen girls and they're dancing out in the rain. They're soaked to the bone, but they just don't give a damn. Later on the terrace, wrapped in blankets and silly hats, we sing till the morning sun creeps up on our backs. We sing till there's no songs left. We sing till there's no songs left.
You walk around and try to get something which is got sort of mass, you know. I love all these, to use a very technical expression, higgledy-piggledy roofs.
Right, yes.
You know what I mean?
So it's the roofs that attracted you first?
The roofs attract, and then when the sun is out, those rare occasions, there's great colour. Right. It's a very lived-in place.
It is. And you're attracted...
I'm changing my style, actually. I don't normally... I paint realism, but I decided I would do a kind of Cézanne style. But we'll see if it works, because I don't normally do that. But I threw my parachute away here all week, and I've only produced 2 pictures, and they're very conservative, so I decided this morning, screw it, you know. It's very hard. Most artists have a problem with painting, knowing when to stop. You can actually go on a, on a upward journey and then start going down again. So you have to sort of make a judgment call. It's really hard. There's no magic word for it. I was way out on the rocks, on the grass, but overlooking the rocks. And after about 3 hours, I decided I was going to go in for a cup of coffee. So I just left everything there. And I came back out and I was saying, well, if it's gone, it was good. Unfortunately, it was still there.
You planned a little too carefully, I think. Oh, that's very... How do you decide how much detail goes in there? Or is it a case of like, there's only so much and no more?
Well, I'll let you into a secret. Normally, my wife slides up behind me and grabs it and says, right, that's enough of that one. Start another one now, but...
Up on an attitude, 20 major in the pocket and I'm in the mood. Bopping down the bog road, bopping down the bog road. Only got 2 wheels, but they sure do get me around. When I was a kid, they didn't like me in school, but when all the other kids were trying to be cool, I was bopping down the bog road, bopping down the bog road. Only got two wheels, but they sure do get me around.